Hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. We are gonna discuss about users and privilege. So basically this video will be divided into two parts. So in the first part we will discuss about the user and group. In the next part we will discuss about the permissions of different types of files. So now let's get started. First of all, a bit of theory I think it's needed to understand the concept. So basically there are three types of account in Linux system. So the root account, service account, and the user account. So what is root account? So root account is the super user account in Linux. So it has unrestricted access to the entire system. So it can execute any commands, modify any files, and manage all users and processes. And and it can do administrative tasks such as software installation, system updates, and managing users account. And it can modify or deleting critical files, critical system files and configurations. So this is about the root account. So in case of service account are a special purpose account created to run specific services or processes. It can be database, web servers, or other applications. So typically service account have limited privilege, only sufficient to run their respective service and access required files. So this is about the service account, and the next one is the user account. So user account are for individuals who use the system for general purpose, and in this case each user has a unique account with its own home directory and settings, and user can do daily tasks like creating files, browsing, and running applications. And definitely we'll see each of it. So this is all about theories. And so in now let's get started about the comments. So if you are a normal user, so in that case, instead of root, you will find your name or something else. But you can easily shift to root user. So what you have to do, you have to simply type sudo su, and if you press enter, then it will ask for your password. So set the password, and you can automatically convert it to the root user from the normal user. So I will recommend you to do that, so that you can practice with me along. So now basically there are four types, there are four administrative file. The first one is basically the etc password. So it basically keeps the user account and password information. So these files holds the majority of the information of a Unix system. So if I want to read that file, so cat is basically used for reading any file. So I have discussed in my Linux, in the basics comments of Kali Linux, so you can check this out. So in order to read that file, all you have to do etc cat etc and then password. If I press enter, then we can see here there are user accounts and the password information. So just explain me one. So in this case, the first root, so it basically indicating the username. Okay, so this is basically the username, which is the root, and here x is indicating the encrypted password of that user. Okay, and this 0 is basically indicating the user ID, and this 0 is and the next 0 is indicating the group ID, and this root is indicating the comment. We'll see how to put this comment. Basically we'll create a user and we will try to comment on that. So at that time we will see how to write a comment for any user. And this root is indicating the directory or home directory of that user, and the next portion is basically indicating the shell path of that user. So this is what we can see from the etc password, so which basically keeps the user account and password informations and all that. Now another administrative file is basically the uh, it's etc shadow. So what it does, so it basically holds the encrypted password of the corresponding account, right? So it basically holds the encrypted password. If I press enter, so as you can see here, so this is basically indicating the username, and this portion is basically indicating the encrypted password. Okay, so sorry, this portion, so this portion is basically indicating the encrypted password, and here this is basically indicating the last time when the password is changed. So it's basically 19,000 870 days ago the password has been updated, and this zero is indicating the password this zero is indicating the validity of that password. So in that case it is zero, so that means the validity is not set, and this indicating when the password will be expired. So in this case it's basically a number, so it's 99,999. So after these days the password will be expired, and before the expiry date, 7 days before the expiry date, it will warning you to change the password. So this is indicating that. So yeah, this is what we can get information from the shadow. We can also see in this case well, so this is also indicating the root, and this portion is indicating the encrypted password. This is indicating uh, when was the last time the password was updated, and this is indicating the validity of that password. So in that case it's also zero, and this is indicating when the password will be expired, and before 7 days of expiry date it will warning you to change the password. So this is what we can see from the etc shadow. Now let us see another administrative files, which is etc group group. Okay, so this is basically indicating this portion is basically indicating the group name, and the X is indicating the encrypted password, and this is 1003 is indicating the group ID, and Jax is basically indicating the member of that group. So here we can see multiple member of that groups. So in this case, this is the group name, this is the encrypted password, and this is the group ID, but this group does not have any group member, so that's why the field is empty. Okay, so yeah, and the next one is cat etc, and it's gshadow. Sorry, gshadow. So here we can also see this is basically indicating the group name, and this is indicating the password of that group name. Okay, this is basically indicating the password of that group name, and this portion is indicating the group member of that group. This is the encrypted password, and this indicating the group member of new group. So in this case as well there is no group member, that's why it's empty, and this uh, explanatory symbol is basically indicating that this group does not have any password, so that's why it's kind of empty. But in case of new group I have set a password, so that's why we can see it in encrypted form. Also we'll see how we can set password for any groups. Okay, so this is the for administrative file. Now, okay, now first of all let us clear the screen, and now let's say I want to create a user. So how to do that? Simply I have to type user and the name of the user. So we can name anything, like what should we do? Let's say progress. Okay, no, not a progress. Let's say Abbas. So Abbas is basically the username. So if I press enter, then they're asking for to put a password. Let me give a password 123, and there is again 123. So okay, so now they're asking for full name. If I write anything in that, let's say Abbas Uddin. So earlier we have discussed about the comment, if you can remember, in the etc password. So when I will put the full name, it will it will act as a comment in that, so we'll see that. So if I press full name and the password, and then if I press enter, we don't have to put anything else. And is the information is correct? Yes. So the user has been created. Now if I want to check whether it is created or not, simply I have to do cat, and then we have to put etc password. If I do that, see, I have created a user which is the name was Abbas, and X is indicating what? X is indicating the encrypted password, and 1005 is basically the user ID, and this is basically the group ID, and this is basically the comment that I have written in the full name, right? So this is what I was talking about, and this is basically indicating the directory, and this is the shell path. So that's how we can create the user. Also, one more thing, see here, here the password file is very long, but let's say if I want to see the first 5 lines of that file, so the file is so big, so that's why I want to I just want to see the first 5 lines of that file. So what I have to do, simply I have to do cat and then etc password, and then we have to use the symbol pipe, and then head means the upper portion of that file. So it basically head, and we have to put the hyphen n and the number of lines that I want to see. Let's say I want to see just 3 lines of that file. So here we are seeing the 3 lines of the password files. Now if I want to see the last line of that 3 files, or last 4 lines of that files, what I have to do, I have to write cat and etc password, then again we have to put the pipe sign and the tail. So instead of head, now I have to write the tail, which is indicating the bottom part of that file. Again I have to put hyphen n and that and the number of lines that I want to see. If I press enter, now you can see the last 3 lines. These last 3 lines we can see in the terminal, right? Okay, so this is what about the user. Let's say let's say I want to delete the user which I have been created earlier. So what I have to do is simply I have to use user del and the name of the user that I want to delete. So in my case it would be Abbas that I have created earlier. So if I press enter, so the user is deleted. So if I want to check whether it is deleted or not, let us say cat etc password, and then if I tail, no, let us see the full file. See, the Abbas is deleted. In earlier we have seen there was a user has been created which name was Abbas, but now the user has been deleted. So in any case, if the user is not if user after using these commands, after using these commands, if the file if the user is not deleted, then you can do one more thing. You can forcefully deleted that file. So you have to do rf and then username. So as the directory has when we create any user, okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. So when we create any user, right, so when we create any user, automatically for that user a group is also created, which is created automatically. We don't have to create that group. So this is called the primary group. So there are basically 2 types of groups. So in case of primary group, when we create any user, automatically a group is created by the name of the user. So this is called the primary group. And another one is the secondary group. So in case of secondary groups, basically we create the group instead of automatically creating it. Okay, so as the as I have created a user named Abbas, so a directory also created, or a group is also created for that user, right? So yeah, so okay, what I was telling. So in case if you can't delete it, you have to delete it forcefully. So in that case you can use the command rf, and then if you enter the username, you can delete that user automatically, easily. So yeah, this is about the user. And okay, now let me do some experimentation. Now let me create another user. So it basically user add, and let's say Uddin is basically the name of the user. So I have created a user. Now let's say if I put groups, and then if I press the if I put the name of the user, and if I press enter, then we can see here. So this is basically indicating the name of the user, and this is basically indicating the group of that user that I was talking earlier about, the primary group. So when we create any user, automatically a group for that user also be created. Okay, but I can change the group. I can change the primary group. If I create another group, I can shift this user Uddin from the primary group to secondary group, or I can move the user to any group. So for now, uh, let us create a group. So in order to create the group, we have to put the command group add, group add, and the name of the group. So let me name the group. So it's basically group 3. So this is basically I'm creating a group. If I press enter, a group is created. So if I want to see whether it is created or not, what I have to do, I have to put cat and etc and the group. Okay, so if you can see here, this is the group name, this is the encrypted password, and this is the group ID. So that means my group is created now. And also we are seeing the group, primary group of the Uddin user that we have created earlier. Now let's say I want to as I have created a user named Uddin, I want to shift that user. I want to move the user from Uddin directory to new group. So how can I do that? Simply I have to write user mode and then small g hyphen and the name of the group that I want to shift. So let's say I want to move the user from in group 3. That means I'm just here. Okay, let me write the full comments first. Uddin. So this basically means this is basically the username, which is Uddin, and now I want to move the user Uddin to the new group 3. Okay, now if I press enter, the Uddin is now shifted to group 3. Now if I want to check it, groups and Uddin, see, in earlier we have seen the Uddin was belong to the Uddin group, which was the primary group. Now I have shifted the Uddin to new group, which is called new group 3. Right, now let's say, now let me create another group, group add, and then let me create another group, new group, let me, okay, let's say 4. So another group is created. Right, now let's say Uddin is now belong to the new group 3. Now now I would like to put Uddin in the new group 3 as well as in new group 4. That means I want to keep Uddin in multiple groups. Now how can I do that? Simply I have to write user mode, and then let's say user mode, and then g, and then name of the group, name of the multiple groups that I want to move Uddin to that group. So in our case it would be like group 3. I want Uddin in group 3 and in group 4, and then Uddin. So this basically means now Uddin will belong to two groups. One is new group 3 and another is new group 4. Now if I press enter, now Uddin is belong to this group. Now let me check it. Say now Uddin is belong to two groups. One is new group 3 and another is new group 4. Okay, and one more thing, we can put the password for the group. Now if I let me see the first of all group. See, now in new group 4 there is no password. Okay, we can see that actually. And then let me write another file, etc gshadow. See, in new group 4, this sign basically indicating that there is no password has been set. Now I want to set password for these groups. Now how can I do that? Simply I have to write gpasswd and the name of the group. And now in our case I want to set password for this group, so I have to put the name of this group and 4. If I press enter, now they will ask for password. Now let me put the password and let me write it again. Now the password is set. Now we'll see the password is set. So in earlier case there is no password, so that's why this sign is showing. Now in this case, now if I check it again, etc gshadow, no gshadow. Okay, Now see, a password is a password has been set, right? And it is in encrypted form. Okay, so this is basically in encrypted form, and Uddin is basically the member of that group. So yeah, this is what about the user and groups. So if you have any questions, tell me in the comment box. In the next video, we'll talk about the permission of that file. How can we set permissions for that file, uh, and how we can modify that. So we'll see in details in the next video. That's it for today. See you in next video.